I have this theory that men know women better than women know themselves when it comes to dating, and women know men better than we know ourselves when it comes to dating. The reason I think that is because obviously men date women and women date men, generally speaking. So I think they have some insights about myself and other guys that I might not be aware of. It might be a blind spot for me, or it might be something that I just differ from, amongst males in general, which would also be interesting. But the point of this video is to focus more on what I have come to learn about my interactions with women in the world of dating. What I think women are looking for, more specifically. I think that women are looking for status above everything else. And when I say status, a lot of you might think that I'm talking about something superficial here, but it's a lot deeper than that. And it's not something that should be criticized, to use that word loosely. I think that when I say that women are looking for status, what I mean is that they are looking for a sense of security. They're looking for a sense of being protected, of feeling protected. And all of these things can be met with different characteristics that a guy might have. Characteristics such as height, our sense of humor, which tends to lend itself to commanding a social environment, or being able to being able to present ourselves in a way that commands respect, I should say. And another thing is, the cars we drive, the way we dress, the way we speak. All of these things are things that women are paying very close attention to, sometimes unconsciously. The reason why I think this is so important to them is that, from an evolutionary perspective, women have always had the need, up until more recently when birth control became a thing, women have always had the need to try to find a partner who is going to be able to help them when they have a kid. And to pick a partner who is not going to help them is basically putting themselves in a position where they're going to have to take care of two people, right? It's hard enough taking care of a child. It's harder to take care of two children, essentially. And because of that, women have developed those innate, I would say, those innate sensors to things that can show that a guy is ready and willing to support a child. Now, again, this does not have to be intentional. I think this is a misperception that a lot of people have, is that if I don't have that intentional rationale or motive for doing something, that must mean that it doesn't exist. I think this is a misperception because there's a lot of things that we do that we don't understand. And it's only after the fact that we try to justify it and rationalize it. And I think a lot of our behavior tends to fall into that same category, where we are dimly aware of our motivations, and we do these things and then try to justify it as best as we can. There's this book I read, I forget the title of it, but the way that it characterized this is that we are basically the press secretary of the president, and the president being our internal workings, our psyche, and that is making the executive decisions. We are simply trying to justify things that we are doing almost robotically, even though it might not feel like it. So I think because of that, a lot of people have the idea that when we do things and we give it a certain reason, that is actually the reason. I think that a lot of the reasons go back to our evolutionary imperatives to procreate and to survive and to pass our genes on to the next generation. Because without those requirements, so to speak, we wouldn't be able to continue on. And so, again, bringing it back to the data and topic, I think these are characteristics that women have developed over the years. And I think because of that, as a guy, if we want to be attractive to women, we have to look at ourselves and look at how we are presenting ourselves. We don't have to be disingenuous. We might not be the types to be materialistic. We might not be the types to be funny, even, but there are certain things that we can control, and there are certain things that we can improve upon. Humor, for example, is something that we can definitely improve upon, even if it's not something that particularly appeals to us. We can work on things to improve ourselves, and they don't have to be things that we are naturally good at or naturally inclined towards. So we can improve our humor, we can improve the way we look, we can dress better, we can improve the way we communicate. Other things like height are more immutable. We can't do anything about that. Some of us who are shorter have that, constant battle of having to deal with women who feel as though, being short is just not attractive to a lot of women. Let's be honest about it. And I think that this can easily bring about a lot of resentment. But I think something that I heard recently that I think has really changed my perspective on what women are looking for is that it's not exactly these superficial characteristics that women are looking for. It's not the height or it's not the humor. While those are things that they look for, the overarching thing that they're looking for, the overarching quality that they're looking for, is that sense of security, right? And as long as a man is able to provide that, it doesn't matter that it's what every other guy is doing or what every other guy is not doing, however that case may be. It has to be something that assures her that you are there for her. It doesn't have to be a woman you're planning on marrying. She doesn't even have to want to marry you. It is still what the preference is for most women, anyways. And even for those who might have a bit of a difference in their preference, if you look deep down, I think you would always find that core desire for security. So, my advice to anyone who is struggling to attract women out there is to focus on the things that they are looking for. Stop worrying too much on what Stop worrying too much about what you're looking for. That is only going to breed resentment. You're going to ask yourself, how come all of these things that I am excelling at, right, are things that women are not attracted to, or how come they don't respect those things? But you're asking yourself the wrong question. What you need to be asking yourself is, what are they looking for? And where is that overlap between what they want and what I am, or how I can improve to meet or to overlap with that, or to meet those preferences? And only then can we start to work on ourselves in a way that makes us even more attractive to them. So I hope this offers some insight